Yes. I've figured it out. Nothing to figure out really, but I have maximized abilities on a coach, which is what I've been trying to do. I've done it before, but I feel like I've done it to the maximum capacity you could get it to for a coach. I've probably done it differently than a few other people. I want to first things first. I want to shout out Findler, Poodle, Marcus Zeeler, the college football Reddit. A lot of people that really already have done this kind of thing, but I just had to see for myself what I could do with these coach abilities and maximizing the amount of points that you could really truly get and make a build that I like myself. So here's how it went. I pretty much did what everybody else did. No secret. You go to Georgia. You go to Georgia. You go to North Carolina. You start there. Motivator, North Carolina. Tactician and recruiter, Georgia. Started at Georgia. Left from there. Became a head coach. Went on to purchase a few of these abilities. Got cheaper archetypes for a coach. So I was able to get motivator and recruiter at 0. Also was able to get bundle discount, and after I purchased my 100 with Georgia, was able to just get all of my other abilities for 4 and 3, which is the point of the build, to try to get the most abilities you can get for as cheap as possible. Now, do I recommend doing this? Maybe. If you really want to maximize your coach, it is worth it. Note that you can use the real players. If you like to use the first few years of your dynasty and really build it up and do all these other things, don't do this. If you just want to play the game, it's probably not worth it, honestly, to save however many points. Because you're thinking there's 500 points. You're just not going to have enough to get everything anyway. So if you maximize what you already wanted to do, you're going to be good either way. It's just up to how you want to play. But with what I wanted to do, I wanted to just get a little bit more, see how far I could really get it and make it into something that I'd really enjoy using and having a dynasty, just having fun with a dynasty without it being, all sweaty and serious and all these other things. So I've got here a build that it took a while for me to get. I don't remember how long it took. It probably took me a full day to get these coordinators, and that's a whole nother story because it's ridiculous. You could make yourself have 30, 40 members. I never did that personally. That is insanity. I don't even think there's that many coaches with these different archetypes, but I've at least done 10 different coaches and got them fired. And it took me legitimately hours, probably. Once again, waste of time, but I had the time. Hours to get these coaches to get hired. It really is ridiculous when you think about it. But it did allow me to do a few things that I really wanted to do. So let's start off with the build. A lot of things I do like. We'll start from the first few branches. As you can see, recruiter, I didn't do much in here at all. I think recruiter for its use case is probably the best branch. You could do a lot of different things with it though. So do you need it? No. For me, I didn't really want to use it because I do have other dynasties that do use it. In the event that I make a new dynasty, or I plan on doing that, I probably will use recruiter, and I obviously won't be using this method, but I think it is important to have recruiter. But when you have these different dynasties and you're doing these different things, yes, you can get by without using recruiter. And really, scouting is the best thing. If you're not going to do that, you can get your coordinators to have it. It does help. So, like I said, right here, I'm only missing wide receiver, tight end, and O-line. I did have to make a decision. I could have had the last two for wide receiver, tight end, O-line for recruiting under scouting. I chose to opt and go with motivator. I went with running backs, offseason training boost, and wide receiver, tight end training boost. I already had the other ones. That just came down to those final two. I chose to go with this one because, I mean, do we really know if the off-season training boost works? Not entirely. It's it from what they say or what everything that I've read and seen, it pretty much is it either I hear it does work or it doesn't work. So I figured why not when I'm already getting these other XP boosting things or XP boosting thing singular with architect. Well, I guess that is plural, but architect here we have 3 levels in each of the main 7 branches. Kickers and punters do count. They are very important to football, but in game, I'm sorry. You can just keep wearing half sleeves. You guys are great. I don't think I'm ever going to invest into that though. Sorry. But we got the main 7. We've got it down to 3. Can't stop, won't stop. Earn an XP bonus for every 3-game win streak. Running backs earn additional XP for in-game goals. And Limitless, obviously, the one that people always recommend out of this tree. Do they work? I've looked at different things. Yeah, it does work. It is very random. You never really will know. Your best bet is just to get a lot of players that don't have as many caps. With this build, you won't be able to get as many. I mean, as your team prestige goes up, you will be able to get the better builds. It's just hit or miss. I mean, sometimes you'll probably have people by their senior year that have 8 or 9 caps going. I'm sure it can happen. There's probably some that only have a couple. Very random. Not the worst, not the best, but it's okay with me. So we're gonna go down here. We're gonna go to sorry. Man, I really like architect, I guess. I don't know. But tactician. So we're gonna go to tactician, which I actually have upgraded to scheme guru. Oh yeah, by the way, we got, like I said, we got motivator and recruiter skill trees for free. But we also got architect and scheme guru unlocked for 5 points apiece, which if you're maximizing abilities, that is a lot. And it also helped, you're saving about 20 skill points for both of those. So it was a help. But like I said, scheme guru and tactician, we have everything maxed at tactician top level except for catch and short route for running backs. Could help. I figure the boost wasn't probably worth it. I mean, I could have done without maybe the 3rd tier. They don't have the best boost for them, but I mean, there's not much you can really do for running backs per se. Cross training, I don't think that's ever worth it. I mean, how much would it really upgrade? And if they're really good as an athlete, you could probably switch them and mix and match them anyway. So I don't think that was worth it for me and what I was trying to do. Down here we have ground and pound offense, ground and pound defense, pass game defense, and fast tempo defense. Now, all of these cost me 6. I should probably break that down as well. These all cost me 6 points. Like I said, because of the bundle discount after getting the appropriate coordinators. Now, all of them are 6. I don't know if these work. I'm seeing differing things. Like, this just everything's opinionative. For me, they do work. More so the pass game defense. I think it's probably the best out of Scheme Guru you could get. I mean, they catch a lot of passes as a computer or even a user. They catch you a lot of passes on you, and sometimes you just can't get there in time, and they knock the ball out from you. So it's basically like you're getting it back on them. Now, the other thing, fast tempo defense, the CPU for me, they run the hurry up a lot. I'm sure a few people can attest to this. They run hurry up at an alarming rate. It is college football, so it's fast paced. This is a normal thing, but I think it's useful, and I was intrigued by number 2. Well, not number 2, tier 3. Because I was thinking gas tank. I was gonna keep that and just use that one, but I saw tier 3. Defensive linemen maintain their shed ability versus hurry up offenses. I was curious about that. I didn't know they lost shed ability just because someone's running hurry up. I don't know if it's because of fatigue or what, but I thought that was interesting. So we saved a lot of points doing that. We saved a lot of points for architect, paid 6 for all of those, by the way. Didn't say that earlier, but I did, except for one. I think I got that for 7. Um, and then we go up to CEO. I was able to get Delay Sunday, which I feel like would be good for a build like this if you are building XP, and you could keep some of these great players once we're built up at this dynasty, or at any dynasty. If you build up these great players, if it works how it says it wants to work, then this would work well. Even if there's like 5 or 6 really good players, if a couple of them stick around, that could be all the difference. Uh, to go hand in hand with that, we have senior superlatives, increasing skill group caps by 1 for seniors, and that will go well with Delay Sunday if they stick around. And there's caps, because there's a lot of these great players, they really don't have many caps, but if they do, senior superlatives really helps. And we also got Dream School, kind of to overturn that lack of recruiting ability. I kind of just wanted something, like I said, it's a fun dynasty. CO Dream School is a fun perk, and when it works, it works. When it doesn't, it doesn't. Obviously, you could still cheese it like NCAA 14, which I will show you. I did do. This is a fun dynasty, and I wanted to start off with some recruits, or pretty much my first recruiting class. I wanted to have it, so I kind of did it on a few recruits that I could figure out how good they were. Just because it's already pretty cheesy doing this, I guess. But I mean, it's time consuming, and I couldn't be asked to put all those extra hours into doing that, after doing this. So we're gonna go look at my board and actually see. The thing with this, like I said, is there is no percent on Dream School. You really don't know the percentage of who you're gonna get, how you're gonna get them. You could, like I said, NCAA 14 had the same thing. Exit out, come back, offer the scholarship. If it doesn't work, do the same thing. So you really could build big classes that way. Not what I prefer to do, just more of a test on the ability itself. If you had to ask me, would it be more worth it to do that and have Dream School versus recruiting? I feel like maybe it's hard to say. It's really like, what do you like to do? I do enjoy the recruiting aspect, so I'd lean more towards that. But I could also understand someone wanting to do Dream School, and don't lie to me. There's a lot of people that will dashboard if they do not have the proper commits with that Dream School perk. It's just going to happen. You're going to do it. Maybe not if you're in an online dynasty. I don't know how that works. I'm mainly offline, but don't lie to me and say you don't do it. And you did it on the last gen too, because everyone did it. All right. So like I said, you can have a regular board. I only have 400 hours, so it saved me a lot of time. It didn't really bother me to do that. A couple of these guys I did offer, and like I didn't get them. No big deal. There's actually some good players. 3 stars are still good, even though they nerfed a lot of things. But uh, it's a good dynasty, and like I said, I mean, man, that the coach abilities, man, it's a big part of this. Here's the coordinators, but it's a big part of the game. So I understand it. I like it. It's it's fun. It makes it more diverse, gives you more options. Maybe you always maybe if you could get all the points, you'd always go recruiting. Maybe there's a cheesy way you bundle something together for these different dynasties. But there's just certain things we're never gonna really use. You have to spec all the way into it. Let's just talk about talent developer. Talent developer, like, I would love to use this. I do have a dynasty that I tried it with, but it's just, look at all these points. And if you think I'm about to go back through and do the same thing I did for this, there's a possibility I would do that, because I just, I don't know why, but I'd probably do it. But this right here, even the tree as it is, like the best thing in the tree, Star Maker, the XP will get gained fat. Kickers and punters. I'm sorry, you're here, but I can't see you. Starting defensive backs will gain XP faster. All the main positions gaining XP faster is the best thing. Lower rated running backs and linebackers and all the positions. Those two are great. I don't know how well tier 2 works. I'm sure that will work at a great smaller school, but is it really worth it? I don't really know. Transfers are more interested. You know, strategists. Eh. I mean, if you're gonna get the recruits, you're gonna get the recruits. If not, I don't think visits are gonna be that big of a deal. Mind reader, I hear people saying stuff about it. I mean, I don't think that's worth it. I mean, I think it might be more worth it for just those first two tiers. I don't think mind reader will be worth it at all. So it makes it hard when you don't have these coach abilities because there's some things I do want to like. I would like to use talent developer being one. Like a lot of these things in program builder, roster retention, high integrity. The pipeline ones are great. If you're a recruiter, I recommend. Not required though, but they do help. But roster retention and high integrity are great, but I just don't see myself probably ever being able to get them unless I just go full on roster, trying to keep the whole roster. And there's a couple things in CEO that might work great. Gasoline, I've heard about that before. People like that. Home field advantage effects lowered. I see why, and a couple of these aren't worth it. Hot seat chiller, portal preview. But more of the story, is it worth it to maximize the abilities? Yes and no. If you just want to have as many coach points as possible, I mean, there's kind of no other way. As you can see, as you saw, I'm in 2033. I'm 8-0 in 2033. Default All American. Hey, don't hate. Appreciate. I like to have fun every now and then. I do play Heisman. It is very cheesy. But that's another story. But for this, it was all about just having some fun. But if you want to do it, this is pretty much the only way to maximize these abilities. Like I said, worth, I don't know. Depends on who you are. Are you crazy enough to do it? As you saw, I was in 2033. It takes a while. It takes a lot of simming. It takes hours, legitimate hours that you will be using your real time. Do you want to do that? Probably not. If you want to do it, yeah, it'll be fun. Why not? I don't see why not. Um, but that's pretty much the end of that. And yeah, hope everybody's having a good time with the game. It's still fun, despite everything that's going on. That'll be all.